I'm going to be reacting to a video by Ali Dawah called "Why Did I Invite Mahdi?" Okay, yeah, so let's see why he invited him from his own words. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Hope you guys are well, inshallah. So, I'm going to be reacting to a video of a hijabi sister who is accusing myself of having undertone misogyny.
Here we go.
So, this is a word that certain individual sisters who are maybe inclined to be
Feminism,
feminist or whatever it may be, or maybe not, that they just loosely throw this term around, very loosely. Now, my track record in the Dawah scene for the past 10 years would be a big intellectual slap in anybody's face that accuses me of having undertone misogyny. I'm working on 3 projects: Bitter Truth, Marriage Documentary, and another project which is an app. And all of these 3 projects heavily include working with sisters. I have sisters in the panel, the Marriage Documentary, and this app heavily includes sisters from different backgrounds coming to help to preserve the marital unit. So, I'm going to put that to a side. Let's listen for ourselves and see what the sister had to say of why I'm, maybe a misogynist, a woman hater, who has a wife, who has 2 daughters. I hate them. Let's see why I hate them. Let's see what the sister has to say.
Deep how not a single one of these men are batting an eyelid, but when I tell you, it's always men who do victim blaming when it comes to the people who face the abuse. And like I said, it will forever baffle me as to how this guy has a platform and places to speak and not a single person bats an eyelid.
Victim blaming. I'll be honest with you, I see a lot of victim blaming from super radical feminist sisters. If a man was to come and say, my wife doesn't do ABC. But what did you do to make her not do that? Okay, if a man was to come and say, my wife cheated on me. You probably didn't give him love enough, or you didn't give her enough love or attention. I don't blame her. This is the sickening attitude, which is the reason why, and I'm not saying the sister, but certain individuals, toxic feminists, are the reason why people like Mahdi are born. And many like Mahdi will be born because of your attitude of always, talking of victim blaming, always blaming the man, or the woman blaming the men, or the men blaming the woman. It's a tit for tat. That's why we have the Quran and Sunnah. That's the reason why
I don't deal with feminists, especially how you're Muslim and you're a feminist. Like, that goes against our deen. Like, that's a Western ideology and Western concept created by Western women to free themselves from the bondage that they were facing with their husbands. Yeah, that has nothing to do with us. Women, we've had rights as Muslims since our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't understand the idea of a Muslim feminist. It's an oxymoron.
The Bitter Truth show, not to invite people I agree with, to invite people I disagree with. And here is a statement from Mahdi's own mouth to what I was saying, and he knew I was talking about him, and look what he had to say. You guys are transgressing. When you come to Islam, you have a balanced way of being a true man, and not trying to go extra miles by posting ridiculous, pathetic stuff that you do to your wife.
Overcompensate.
Yeah, do to your wife, like which is which I'm not going to get into detail, but that's it. I think there's more to come.
Ali, bro, we all know who you're referring to. You're referring to me. Everybody knows. Just say my name, Akhi.
There you go, from Mahdi's own mouth. I was talking about him, and guess what? On the Bitter Truth show, I said to his face to face, not behind him, face to face, that yes, I was talking about you. Because I believe that. And I told him to his face, which people didn't watch, that I would never do that. If my wife's giving birth, to just leave it to it. I was, one of the most amazing things that I've experienced is childbirth. Even though I didn't watch my wife give birth, but I was there. So the point is, everybody dismissed that. Let's carry on. Let's see what else the sister has to say.
Because this video actually blew up when he posted it. And a lot of people know of his crimes. He openly speaks about it. He has no shame about it. I'm baffled, however, I'm not very much surprised. Now, when it comes...
Stop there. I didn't know, I'll be honest with you, I did not know
Me neither.
that he admitted to hitting his wife or something. That I did not know.
That's news to me.
Now, if I knew that, would I have invited him? Yes. Why? To challenge him. I invite people not because I agree with them, I disagree with them. There are people in the panel, a couple of them, I disagree.
That's literally the mindset of most feminists and most liberal-minded Muslims or other liberals. That's the mindset they have. Just because you disagree with someone, it doesn't mean that they're your enemy or, you can't have them around. No. That's literally the mentality of liberals, you know? They're a bunch of hypocrites, and feminists as well, bunch of hypocrites. They're like toddlers, you know, literally crying about, oh yeah, why did you invite this person? What is it to you? What is it to you? Like, just because you disagree with someone's thinking, it doesn't mean you can't challenge them or you can't have them around you, you know, to ask the questions that need to be asked.
Disagree. I'll be very honest. I disagree with them, but I'm not going to not invite them
Me
to the
too.
podcast, because if they are saying something which can be detrimental and they have some
Exactly.
kind of an influence, that has to be challenged. I'm
Exactly.
not just going to be like, if I came there and said, "Yeah, you're right, bro. Beat your wife up. You go. Yes. Don't. When she's giving birth, don't be there.
Ah,
When
really?
she needs help cooking, cleaning, never help her. What are you on about?" I was
Exactly.
actually challenging him. So that again, which is something and information that I didn't know. But even if I did, I would invite him to challenge him. But let's carry on.
The rest of the podcast that was on recently, Ali Dawa, I'm not surprised of anything that came out of his fucking mouth.
Why are you
This
swearing?
is a hijabi. That's why I tell sisters and brothers in general as well. Hijab is not putting a...
Yeah, let me stop it there. Why would you swear with a hijab on? Do you know how disrespectful that is? You know, I literally watch myself when I'm outside or when I'm making videos to not use any swear words and stuff like that. And coming online, swearing and you're wearing a hijab, are you not ashamed of yourself? Why would you do that? Why would you disrespect the hijab and disrespect yourself as a Muslim female? Ashuf.
thing around your mouth. Look at the F.
Exactly.
Look at you're in a hijab.
Exactly.
Now you might be thinking, oh, here we go, being petty here, blah, blah, No. The F word is not a light word.
It's not.
You're observing the hijab and look at what you're saying. And let's see why she's not surprised what came out of my mouth.
I noticed a very long time ago that man has misogynistic undertones in the way that he speaks.
Misogynistic undertones. Now let's do a little bit of a history. Let's do a bit of history check. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, 7 years ago, I was one of the first YouTubers who done a video about talking about those who stigmatize and look down upon divorcees and single mothers. And here is a video of that. If I'm not mistaken, about 8 years ago, I done a video of a man who lures women in and uses and abuses them. Yes? Exposing him and the tricks that he uses. Misogynistic undertone. If I'm not mistaken, when it was 3 years ago, it was so hot that there were influences throwing the hijabs off, taking the hijabs off, having an influence on our sisters. And I had to go around with a message on my phone saying to sisters, and they're asking them to read it, may Allah bless you for wearing this hijab in this hot weather against all odds. Your reward is with Allah. Misogynistic undertones, of course, yeah, you know, I did that for the views and the likes, you know, yeah, okay. If I'm not mistaken, I was one of the first YouTubers in the Dawah scene who done 2 videos talking about men's hijab and how a man should observe his hijab, and these brothers who go topless on holidays, but when it comes to a sister wearing a pink hijab, they lose their plot. And this very experiment that I did was actually a little twist, a plot twister, with a little twist, where I would go to men and say, where do you think the hijab is going? And they'll be like, oh, you know, hijab, sister's hijab. I'm like, I'm not talking about sister's hijab, I'm talking about man's hijab. And they were like, oh yeah, misogynistic undertones. If I'm not mistaken, our sisters would get attacked on the streets. I did a social experiment of 2 niqabi sisters walking in the road and how people would look at them to raise awareness. Misogynistic undertones, right?
And even when I went to the recent convention, when he first came up, I literally told my friend I want to leave.
She told her friend she wants to leave. Why do you want to leave? If you knew anything about the works I do, anything,
exactly,
you would know that anyone would know misogyny and my word are total opposites.
He's right. Actually, I stopped following him years ago because he was giving sisters too much leeway, you know? He would just have a go at the brothers and not the sisters. So that's the reason I stopped following years ago. But I changed my mind again. But then for her to accuse him of misogyny when he's literally always defending the females, and the reason I followed him because he was being unfair, it's ridiculous.
Opposites. I can easily come
Exactly.
and say, you know what, you are a male hater, a man hater.
Exactly.
It's easy
I
to throw
thought
these
that.
words, but it's people like you who give birth to people
I
like
thought
Mahdi,
that.
because you throw these words loosely.
This guy
Exactly.
makes me feel very uncomfortable. The way that he speaks, you can tell that he has a dislike towards women. But this is the thing, a lot of you guys are blind to it. And one of my mutuals made a perfect video talking about how a lot of these people do have a bias when they speak. This whole thing of, I went to work, therefore my woman, she must be giving me intimacy, she must be doing this, that for me. First and foremost, that is your obligation.
Check this out. This is what I'm saying to my sisters who are watching this. This is why the Red Pill movement exists.
Exactly.
Because of sisters like her who undermine and belittle. And you know who she's talking about? She's talking about my recent discussion I had with a toxic, radical feminist who was telling men who are married that they should not be horny. They are guilty for having hormones that make them horny, and they are guilty for asking intimacy from their wife. This woman was saying that we should lower our gaze to our wives. She was saying stuff so crazy. At one point, I had to defend the Islamic rights because she was like, I'll go 50-50. I was like, sister, you don't need to go 50-50. The man has to provide. And she was like, no, no. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Imagine.
So she here, these kind of sisters are the reason why
Imagine.
people like Mahdi and the Red Pill exist.
Exactly.
Action, reaction, two extremes, very bluntly and openly, yeah? Can you imagine? This is your duty. Work, provide, protect, love, etc. And when you want intimacy, undertone and misogyny. You are out of your mind, sister. And you know what? I invite you to the Bitter Truth Show. Wallahi, with all due respect, you will have full respect. I respect every single sister's there. Not a single one of them will say I've ever spoken ill of them or made them feel uncomfortable. I invite you to this show. I'll pay for your taxi. I will pay for your time. Please come to the show, and I would love to.
I doubt she'd come because you would challenge her mindset and you would challenge how her ideology or how her feminist mindset it goes against the Quran. She wouldn't, you can't argue with a feminist. It's like arguing with a toddler. So I doubt she'd ever come.
To hear you. Why? Because I believe you sound like a radical feminist.
She is.
But I will still have you on the show. If I knew that you used to beat your husband up, I will still invite you to the show. You know why? Because I want to challenge your views.
Exactly.
So that is the point. But let's carry on, guys. Let's carry on that. Men, how dare you ask for your partner for intimacy after you've worked? No. Can you imagine if I belittled a woman's hormones of menopause, birth, yeah, or on her menses, and I said, oh my gosh, a man should go and get married again because when she's on her hormones, be it menopause, yes, she can't have kids anymore. When she's pregnant, having intimacy can be quite difficult. And when she's on a period, this woman would lose her mind. Hypocrisy and double standards. But when a man has certain hormones that make him, which studies show, a sexual desire is no match to a woman's, no, Tino, you do not have a right to do that. You are no different from that woman that I interviewed. Let's carry on.
A man to be doing it. And the moment I 100% clocked out is in one of his videos when he goes, I was lowering my gaze the whole entire time. I don't lust over other women.
I don't know what she's talking about, by the way. I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't know what the context is. I don't know what she's talking about.
And you're supposed to be doing that whether you're single or whether you're wifed up. But yeah.
Imagine me saying, a sister coming and saying, you know what, in this hot weather, we wear the hijab. And I go, are you not supposed to do that anyway, sister? Imagine she coming and saying, it's so hot in this hijab. And I go, are you not supposed to do that anyway, sister? Why are you mentioning it for? I don't know what she's talking about myself, by the way, but imagine me telling her and belittling it. These kind of sisters would go crazy. Do you know how hard it is to wear the hijab? You're belittling it. But it's okay to tell a man, lowering your gaze, you're supposed to do that anyways. Who cares?
These liberal Muslims and these feminist liberal Muslims have double standards, They can go accusing you of all types of things, and then when you question them, they cry foul, and act like little children crying and calling you all types of names,
Yes. This is why people like you, this feminism has creeped in and you don't even realize. And this is the reason why I started the Bitter Truth Show, to discuss these matters, because we have two extremes like this sister and Mahdi, which I've told him clearly.
And all of those people who are okay with giving this man a platform, yeah, they're sick as well.
In a nutshell, guys, why did I invite Mahdi? I have been vocal about Mahdi way before.
What would be the point of having a show where people discuss topics that are uncomfortable to everyone's going to have the same stance on a particular topic? What would be the point of that? And what's wrong with someone like him coming on a show to explain his mindset or to be challenged because of his mindset? Like, how is that a bad thing? That's a good thing. You're changing someone's mindset. They're extra sensitive, these liberal feminist Muslims. God, they irritate me so much. Oof.
Me and Hijab been vocal about the red pill and Andrew Tate before he came to Islam way before. Hijab even had a debate, and Brother Gabriel had a debate with Mahdi. It is very clear that we do not see eye to eye with Mahdi.
Exactly.
Ever. And I even said it on the show, I was double-minded about inviting him. Do I regret it? No, I don't. Why? Because I challenged him. Number one, when he came and said about a woman was plotting against her husband and etc. And I thought to myself, well, where's the evidence from the Sharia? I asked him clearly, where is your evidence from the Sharia? There was nothing. The video is there.
I've seen it.
I said to him, you still have to give that woman's right, even if you know she's plotting. That's all right. Number
Exactly.
two, when it came to him not being there when his wife was giving birth, I said, personally, I was there. I found it one of the most amazing things. Now, am I saying this so I don't give a damn what you guys think of me. I don't care. I don't do it for you. I know when I stand in front of my Lord, why do I do the Bitter Truth show? Why do I do certain stuff? I know, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my witness. If I'm doing it for money and the fame and the... Look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my witness. But the point is the following, that I don't regret inviting him. He is somebody, if I disagree with him, I have to want to challenge his views. He came, and that's exactly what happened. Now, is he always wrong? No. There are certain truths he speaks. I understand there are things that he says which is wrong. We understand that too. But we have to invite and dialogue and challenge individuals like Mahdi.
You do.
And come to a common agreement. And I said it to himself. I said, you are even sinful for not giving clarity when your wife was giving birth. I said to him, bro, you are sinful for making people feel like that or making them have the assumption of you.
Exactly.
We made that clear. Anybody that watches that show
I've
from
seen it.
beginning to end will...
Yeah, he explained himself. He said the reason, Ali asked him, what is the reason that you're not there for your wife when she's giving birth? And he said his wife told him she doesn't want him there. She doesn't want him to see what she's going through, and it was the wife's choice. So since it's the woman's choice, since you're a feminist, should you not respect that? That his wife was the one who told him, I don't want you there while I'm having a baby.
We'll see how beneficial it was when Sister Amari had her take on it on the matter. There was a discussion that was made. So I invited Mahdi because number one, I wanted to question him face to face. I want to understand him better. Number two, if there's anything un-Islamic he says, which one of the points he mentioned, I asked him for the evidence where in the Sharia it says that. And that was it. Now, if there's certain things that he says, I'm not going to treat my guests, whoever they are, I'm talking to enemies of Islam, I'm not going to go and treat them in a specific way. They're my guests. In that show, I will show them respect and I will challenge them respectfully. Nobody came and said, Mahdi is the guy that we should go to. No. He came, he had his points, we challenged him, we made some clarities, and we left it at that. It's as simple as that. That is the reason why I invited him. So anyone that has a problem of me inviting, I'm going to invite many more people who I disagree with and the Muslim Ummah disagrees with. But there is a reason. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say, brothers and sisters, from your undertoned misogynist man, Ali Dawa. Till next time, brothers and sisters, take care, inshallah, and the Bitter Truth Show will continue.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. He's right. They invited the guy there because he disagrees with him. His perspective is different from Ali's perspective and many other people's perspective, including my own. But he's not wrong all the time. Like, he has his own ideas and he should be challenged. And Ali did nothing wrong. He literally challenged why he said what he said. And the guy, Mahdi, explained to him why and why he thinks like that. And, anyways, I can't stand liberal Muslims. I used to be a liberal when I was younger. I used to be hardcore liberal. And I used to be a feminist. And I'm not anymore. As you get older, you realize these ideologies that you had were completely, they go against everything that I believe in as a African person and as a Muslim. Definitely as a Muslim, number one. Anyways, let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Ali? Do you think the sister, whatever her name is, was accusing him unjustly, calling him misogynist because he had someone whose opinions differ from his own? Let me know what you think. Till next time. Bye. Salam. If